Time now for a look at some of the day's business news here on France 24. And for that, we can cross now to our business editor, Cole Stangler, who is standing by. Cole, we're starting with a look at the earnings for Amazon. The retailer has reported a massive rise in sales over the first 3 months of this year.
Yeah, that's right, Thomas. Many expected a strong start to the year for the company, but the figures released after market close yesterday really surpassing expectations, even illustrating how Amazon continues to take advantage of that shift in consumer behavior that we've seen as a result of the pandemic. Consumers, of course, ordering more and more products from their homes. Get you some of these figures here. Overall sales hitting over $108 billion for the first 3 months of the year. That's a 44% increase when you compare it to the same period last year. Also, the second quarter in a row for Amazon that we've seen that figure top $100 billion. Profits, meanwhile, skyrocketing, more than tripling to reach just over $8 billion. And also worth stressing, too, that bump isn't just concentrated in its core retail service. Net sales also climbing for Amazon Web Services, or AWS, that's its cloud computing division. They were up over 30% year over year. Tech giant expecting these good times to really continue into the coming months as well. One of the big reasons why is Prime Day. That's its annual day of discount sales for members. Company announcing that'll be in June. And also worth mentioning, too, this is coming on the heels of growing focus on the company's labor practices. Some criticism there earlier this year, of course, the company defeating an attempt from workers to try to organize a union at a warehouse in Alabama. The company does seem to be more sensitive to that sort of criticism as of late. Earlier this month, we saw CEO Jeff Bezos saying the company needs to do, quote, a better job for its employees. And even just this week, Thomas, the company said it was giving raises to employees, more than 500,000 of them in the United States, anywhere from 50 cents to $3 an hour.
Now, secondly, Cole, just how are the markets faring to close out this week?
Yeah, so it's a bit of a quiet start here on the European indexes to start the day. The FTSE just up around a tenth of a percent, the CAC 40 up around a fifth of a percent, the DAX hanging around the flat line in Frankfurt. It's also coming, those gains in the CAC 40 coming as new data showing the French economy returning to growth for the first quarter of the year, expanding 0.4%. Economy, though, still below pre-pandemic levels. The Asian indexes, meanwhile, the Asian shares sliding, really driven by concerns, ongoing concerns over the pandemic. Losses across the board, as you can see there in Tokyo, in Seoul, Shanghai, and in Hong Kong, where the Hang Seng fell around 1.8%. Wall Street is closed, but we did see, it should be said, Amazon shares climbing 3% during extended trading.
And finally, Cole, you've been looking at the tourism sector here in France. And of course, after being hit hard by the string of lockdowns in recent months, there is now, of course, some light at the end of the tunnel, thanks to Emmanuel Macron.
Yeah, as we've been covering, Thomas, France gearing up for an end to that third lockdown. Among the businesses most excited about that, of course, are those that rely on tourism. Sector nationwide saw a 41% drop in revenue last year. And while foreign tourists are slated to arrive under that plan in June, the plan outlined by the president, even before then, the travel restrictions in France are slated to end on May 3rd. That's going to open the door for French people to travel across the country. And by the looks of it, there are French people ready to take advantage of those loosened rules. Zélimil Jamin will have more on that story.
House trips, camping, journeys by train or by bus. After spending Easter holidays stuck at home, the French want to escape from their confines without booking flights. In this 300-place campsite of the Var region, 120 bungalows are already reserved for the month of May, with the establishment expecting an occupancy rate of 40%.
Oui, vous avez à environ 5 minutes à pied la plage de Légade qui est accessible.
No foreigners this time. 100% of the clients will come from across France.
Beaucoup de Parisiens, aussi vers tout le secteur de Lille, Lyon également.
From the 3rd of May, the French will be able to move again outside the current 10-kilometer limit without any justification. For many, it's been a long wait for freedom. Departments like the Alpes-Maritimes have been placed under lockdown since February, a full 2 weeks before the rest of the country. But today, the owner of this guest house is hopeful once again.
La demande est là. Beaucoup de familles qui viennent voir les grands-parents, qui se réunissent avec les enfants, les petits-enfants qui viennent voir la famille dunkerquoise.
For several days, the national rail operator have registered 150,000 daily trips. Faced with the swelling numbers, the company will gradually grow its service from 4 to 8 TGV out of a possible 10 by the 7th of May. Buses are also growing in demand. This coach company has seen an increase of 70% of its ticket sales.
On s'attend évidemment à ce que ces chiffres continuent d'exploser dans les jours qui viennent. On va desservir 140 destinations à partir du 7 mai et on va augmenter ce nombre de destinations au fil de l'eau jusqu'à l'été.
With freedom of movement around the corner, nearly 12 million French have already planned to leave in mid-May for the long weekend of the Ascension.
Okay, Cole Stangler with the latest business news. Thank you very much. A quick